Okay, well, the verdict is in. People want more Balisong videos. So this video is going to be focused on repetition. Okay, one of the most important things in learning how to flip a Balisong fluently is being repetitive. All right. So there's a couple things I'm going to show you in this video. Basically, like I said, the whole thing about this is to master a move, a single move. Okay. When you see people who do all kinds of different combinations of moves, and their fluent transitions, it looks really good. But that's because they've mastered the individual moves. You need all the little pieces of the puzzle to put it all together. You know, think of a jigsaw puzzle. You take one little piece, and it's kind of like a little clue as to what the picture may be. But you don't get that overall picture until all the pieces are together. All right, so it's important to learn the fundamentals, and this is part of the fundamentals. So what I want you guys to do is start off with something very, very simple. Okay, a simple move. It could be just a basic horizontal, right? It's just something that if you did to someone who's really into Balisongs, they're gonna go, yeah, you know, whatever, it's a simple move. But continuously do that move, all right? And you can gain speed. You have to crawl before you can walk, and you have to walk before you can run, all right? So you can't just break a Balisong out really fast your first time. But if you're repetitive with your knife, okay, and if you keep practicing the same things over and over again, you gain the muscle memory that you need, and you gain the confidence that you have, okay? Because you need confidence to flip this knife. If you're nervous flipping a Balisong, you will cut yourself. And I can tell you right now, if you're flipping a live blade, it doesn't matter how good you are, you will eventually cut yourself, all right? Now, the last couple days, I've just been flipping a little bit. It might be hard to see, but I have a couple little nicks here and there. And that's basically from different aerials and the tip getting me, all right? So you have to just understand it's part of the territory. It's just what you're playing with a knife, all right? It's like if you play with fire, eventually you're gonna get burned. It's no different. If you play with a knife frequently, you will eventually get cut. Doesn't matter how good you are, all right? So I'm just letting you know, there's people on YouTube who are far, far better than I am. A lot of them that even amaze me. And I watch the videos and I'm like, oh crap, I wish I can do that, you know? And then vice versa, there's people who aren't very good and they watch me and think, oh my God, he's the best. I'm not the best. I'm very fluent in what I do, and sometimes it looks fancier than it really is. It's not that hard to do if it's a hobby that you're really interested in and you get you know, fluent with what you're doing, okay? So my whole trick to looking good with a Balisong is just being very fluent and consistent with easier moves. Now occasionally I'll try something new, and at the end of this video, I'll show you another move that I've been trying lately, and you'll see that I will drop the knife, I will fumble, I will cut myself, most likely. It's just a matter of how long it'll take before that happens. But anyway, let's get back to the basic horizontal. Okay, you guys have seen this move. If you haven't, look it up. I have a video tutorial on how to do it. There's other people on YouTube who have tutorials as well. All right, so it's a simple move. Now, when you're first starting, you may be a little bit slower to try to get the hang of it, right? But once you do this for a while, it becomes second nature. You really don't even think about it. And then you can gain speed with it. So open and close, and then you start moving into other moves, right? So very simple move. It's just about being repetitive. Even when you think you got it down, do it some more, you know? Continuously do the same move. And this is what I was talking about in past videos, where you actually can start hearing a rhythm, all right? And if I change what I'm doing, you'll hear the rhythm change as well. So let's listen to what this sounds like, just doing a basic horizontal, okay? Opening and then closing, opening and closing, back and forth, right? Listen to how it sounds. Bump, 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 bump. Now see if you can tell when I do something different according to the sound. You can literally close your eyes when you're flipping a Balisong, and I can kind of picture what I'm doing. Now again, these are simpler moves, but I'm listening to the clicking. I'm listening to it bounce off my knuckles. I'm listening, you know, to all kinds of different things, and I can kind of tell when I screw up myself just by the sound. All right, so let's do that again. You tell me. Well, you can't tell me physically, but you know, in your own mind, you know, scream out to yourself, ah, you did something different. So let's listen to it again. obviously something different happened there, right? You don't have the same rhythm. It changed. Now, everything you do when it's slapping the handles, you know, well, it's not really the handles in this case. It's going to be down here by these Zen pins. But every single time you have contact, it makes a noise. When I open this, let's break this move down. The first noise you're really hearing is that, okay, just the opening sound. And it's something even simpler, just to open it and close it like that. You don't even need to do a horizontal. Just do this, just open, close, open, close. And then with time, when you get fluent, you can do it very fast without having to smack your fingers or cut yourself. It just becomes second nature to you. You don't even think about it. All right, other moves that are a little bit more complicated, they still have their own rhythm too. Listen to this. You know, it's rhythmic. It really is. And some people laugh when I say that you can listen to your Balisong as if it's a song. You know, and if you're repeating the same thing over and over again, you do get like a beat or a rhythm. It's about being fluent and keeping the same speed as well. See if I can get this in frame so you can see a little better. And again, speed comes with time. You have to crawl before you walk, you have to walk before you run. If you want to get to a running point, you have to get the fundamentals down, okay? So listen to your Balisong, it will speak to you. Alright, so the second part of this I want to show you is something a little bit harder. Now this is going to be a test for me. It's something I haven't really done before, but I figured I would try it out on camera here. I'm going to give it 3 tries, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how many simple one rotation aerials I can do in a row, okay? Now obviously, like opening and closing, I can do this all day long. Alright, so this is not hard for me to do. So I'm not going to do that. Now even if I advance to the basic horizontal, something else I can do all day long. So that's not fun either. However, a simple one rotation aerial is something I can do, but I don't think I can do that all day long. It's a matter of timing, it's a matter of how you're releasing the knife, how you're catching the knife, how much rotation you put on it. There's a lot more factors there, okay? So because of the fact there's a lot more factors, you have a lot more chance of screwing up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the camera down just a little bit for you so you can see this a little better. And I'm going to try to see how many I can do in a row. It's that simple. It's about being repetitive, all right? Now, if I screw up or if I drop the knife or if I cut myself, then that's it, and I'll just, you know, see how many I've done thus far. Now the one I do screw up on, that's not going to count as one. So this is just a personal test for me to see, you know, what I'm capable of. And I'm going to try this 3 times, and then I'll get kind of an average of about what I can do. All right, so these are very simple one rotation aerials, all right, just back to back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Now once I got to my 8th one, I put a little bit too much spin on it. So instead of catching it down here and the handle coming down, a little bit too much spin, so I caught it on an angle, and then obviously as you saw it ended like this. So even though I didn't cut myself or drop the knife, it's not fluent any longer. So the first try I had about 7. All right, 7 of them, they were pretty good looking. So let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll stop there because that one came up a little high again. This is where I feel like I'm kind of rushing. Maybe because I'm making a video, or maybe it's just natural. But I was rushing a little bit to try to get the numbers up faster, and I put a little bit too much rotation on it and caught it kind of on a back angle. All right, so it wasn't very fluent. And the problem is that if you do that, and I'll show you how that looks, if you start rushing something like that, or if you catch it wrong, Hold on a second. I just poked myself. So I'm talking about, play with knives, you're gonna get cut. That's not bad. All right. Yeah, if you catch it like this, and then I continue with this pattern, it's now throwing me off. The whole balance is off. So now when I try it again, the next time it's going to be even worse. And of course, then you will cut yourself or you'll drop the knife. All right. So yeah, it's really fun to play with the Balisong. But what makes it a lot more fun, just like learning to play guitar or something like that. Let me turn you back up here. It's a lot more fun when you're good at it. All right. When you first try to play an instrument and you suck, you lose interest sometimes. You know, you try the hobby and you're like, yeah, this blows. You know, this is horrible. It's not cool. It's not fun. So I think a lot of people, they pick up Balisongs and they try to flip them and they go, oh man, it looks so awesome. And then they get very discouraged that first time and they try to flip it and they try and do different moves and you're like, oh man. And then you cut yourself and it makes it worse. You're like, forget it. I'm done. I don't like this. It's not fun. I'm not good at it. That's it. And then they lose interest. Like anything, if it's worth doing, it's probably going to be hard to do. You know, it's not going to come easy. Some people are naturally better at doing this. They have better eye-hand coordination. They're just naturals. But for me, it took me a lot of years to actually get to where I am now. And it's not something that I do all the time. Balisongs to me, and that's why you haven't seen really Balisong videos in a while. It's a hobby that comes and goes. It's something I will always love. I'll always have a passion for it. But I may go a month or two and not even pick one up. And then other days I can spend 7 or 8 hours flipping all day long. You know, it's kind of like stress balls, you know, or something you'd squeeze if you're like kind of finicky and while you're doing work or watching TV, you know, people do all kinds of weird things. Maybe you're biting your nails, maybe you're making flicky noises. I don't know what you do. But for some people who are really into Balisongs, they're constantly flipping. And maybe something is opening and closing. You know, if you are watching a movie and you happen to have a Balisong and you happen to be by yourself because it'll probably be annoying to someone, but if you can get over the clicking noise and still watch the movie, while you're doing something like that, some kind of a task, open and close it. Just get used to playing with it, get used to the feel. A lot of times when I do like more advanced moves, people think, oh my god, he must be cutting himself, or maybe the knife's not even sharp. The problem is that people who are new to this, and there you go, the computer. Cell phone's charging again. And I do charge in the other room, and I meant to take it out of the room so it wouldn't bother the video. Let's move on. Stop living in the past, people. All right. The problem is some people don't understand that the latch handle or bite handle, okay, that's where the blade is facing. So a lot of times you'll see ricochets, and that's what throws people off. If I do something like that, they go, oh my god, he just touched the blade. You know, why didn't he cut himself? The spine of the blade on this particular knife, which is a Benchmade model 51 Morpho, is not sharpened on the spine. Okay, in fact, it's not only not sharpened, it's also rounded. Okay, which makes this much better to do ricochets with. Even the 42, having a straighter spine like that and having a flat spine, you do have sharper edges. And ricochets will bruise up your knuckles and they'll make you red and raw. You look like a piece of roast beef. But when I do moves like that, people are kind of freaked out, like, why didn't he cut himself? You know, and that's the whole deal with it. But if you see that if I have this handle in my hand and I do a ricochet, either I'm going to bleed immensely or you're going to know that the knife is not sharp, okay? But again, when I'm doing something fast and you can't really see that well, or you're not very into the hobby and you see me bouncing back and forth and you go, that knife's not even sharp, you know? It's just because what's touching me isn't sharp. Alright guys, so basically the point of this video is repetition, repetition, repetition. And I'm sorry for being so repetitive about it, but that's the whole point. You have to do your best and mastering the little stuff in order to connect the dots together to make something more big and grand. Alright, if you want to be that person who can flip for 2 or 3 minutes straight and have something really, you know, entertaining looking and fluent, you know, not choppy, not messing up, not cutting yourself, you have to learn the basics. Too many people learn like a horizontal and all of a sudden they want to try the cherry picker, you know, or they want to try a helix or something. It's not going to happen. You have to learn all these little pieces of the puzzle to get that master picture. So I want to also explain something else to you guys, is there's a lot of different routes you can take, a lot of different roads that lead to the same finish line, okay? What I mean by this is that, let's say you want to do a move and you want to end in a ice pick grip, like such, okay? It doesn't matter if the blade's facing in or out, but you want to end in this kind of dagger ice pick grip. There's many different ways you can do that. It's not like you just have one way to do it. All right, you have a lot of versatility if you know a lot of little simple moves, okay? So there's many different ways you can get to the end without taking the same path, okay? So I'm gonna show you just a couple different ways you can get to the same result. That's one way, right? Same exact result, totally different move. So you have to be versatile. This is what's going to help you most, particularly when you screw up. If you make a mistake while you're doing some kind of a routine that you've come up with, then this is going to allow you to blend your mistake into something that's spectacular. Oftentimes when I'm flipping for a while, like in person, and people are watching me and they go, oh my God, this guy's so awesome, I'm screwing up. I'm making mistakes. However, I have enough versatility in my flipping experience that I can turn a mistake into something that looks like it was meant to be. Oh yeah, I meant to do that. No, I didn't. I screwed up, you know. I messed it up, but I made it look good. All right, so be versatile. Learn a lot of simple moves before you can move on to something better. Okay, so now at the end of the video I told you I'd do a little bit of a trick. So this is going to be raw, unedited film. Most of the time when you watch Balisong flipping videos, they're very fun and entertaining because you get a little collaboration, if you will. You get the montage of the good. What you don't see in a Balisong video is someone dropping it. Oh no, crap, I dropped it. Oh, I dropped it again. Oh, my cat just jumped in front of the camera. Oh, my mom just walked in the room. My wife's calling me for dinner. You don't get that kind of crap. And you know what? You don't want that kind of crap because that's not entertaining. You want to see the best of this person's flipping experience for that recording session, you know? You don't want to see them drop a knife. That's not fun. You don't want to see them cut themselves and then spend 3 minutes like this. Going, oh man, that's bad, or that's not so bad. That's not entertaining. That's not fun to watch. We want the good song playing. We want to get pumped up about it. We want to get amped, you know? We want to see that really cool move. Oh man, how do I do that move? You know, teach me. That's what we want to see. That's what's fun. That's what's entertaining. But for right now, I'm going to give you just raw, this is me playing around, okay? This is going to be maybe part of a video I'll do in the future as well, where I'm just showing you screwing around. That's all I'm doing. I'm playing with the Balisong. I'm trying new things. I'm trying old things. And I may drop the knife. I may cut myself. I may throw it at the camera. My phone may ring. Anything's going to happen. You know, this is raw, unedited. No cool song playing in this one. It's just going to be me and you in the room as if you were hanging out with me. Alright, so I'm going to turn the camera down just a little bit. And I'm just going to do a little bit. I might not even talk through it. But this is just real me playing around with the Balisong, having some fun, trying some new things. Another one of these aerials I like doing, but I haven't mastered this one. Basically, it's just a side kind of a flick thing. So you do this flat plane circular motion, and obviously starts off closed and ends up open just like so. That happened to land perfectly. Of course, I'm glad I had the camera on because that's usually not the case. Yeah, could get flown with it, but it doesn't always land like that. Something else I've been trying lately is the suicide drop, which I briefly showed in the little last Balisong teaser video, which I landed, but not, it was very sloppy, to be honest. And I wasn't very happy with it, but I was cutting myself up, so I figured I'll just use the take that I had. It doesn't happen very often, it really doesn't, but happened to get lucky there. Just trying some different things. Yeah, that was kind of cool. If you guys haven't figured out by now, I've said it before, I love me some aerials. It is my favorite thing in the world to do with the Balisong is let go of it. Give it a little bit of air time, you know. A lot of fun. I don't know what that was. I was going to grab it with the other hand. I ended up not doing it. So, Anyway, I can literally do this for hours and play around with you guys and show you different things, but I will do that in a separate video in the future sometime. It's not going to be anytime soon probably, but I'll just turn the camera on when I'm screwing around and I'm trying some new moves, and you'll probably see me get cut, but that's just part of the process, alright? If you don't want to get burned, don't play with fire. If you don't want to get cut, don't play with sharp knives. It just kind of comes in the territory, guys. If you don't like the sight of blood and you don't like getting hurt, don't play with a very sharp knife. It's the only way I can really put it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me for a second, doing some, just practicing a little bit. Definitely have fun with it every single time. But that's it. Wanted to do another Balisong video. Obviously, you guys showed some interest in my last one, and some people said that's all they subbed for was Balisong videos, and I kind of feel bad. I haven't had one in a while. So I put this little piece together for you, give you some tips for me to do. Definitely practice and master the simple stuff. And like I said, listen to your Balisong. It's speaking to you. So that's all, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I always appreciate your time. And why the outdoor gear in here? Because I came in from outside and my house is still cold. So I got the heat going, and I figured in the meantime, I'll throw on my Benchmade hat, which I love. You guys can see that? And my Glock sweatshirt. So that's it. I'm just trying to stay warm while the heat's kicking. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.